Hi, everyone. My name is Marissa. I work for an organization called Katimavik, and I'm going to be talking today about our National Experience Program. Um, So I'll just start off by telling you a little bit about the organization. Katimavik is a national nonprofit founded back in 1977. So we're going on about 45 years. And it's an organization that's hosted over 37,000 alumni, or participants, I should say, who are now alumni. So there's a likelihood that perhaps you know someone who's been involved with Katimavik or done one of our programs over the past several decades. So I'll talk to you a little bit about what our program looks like nowadays. Another interesting bit of information here is Katimavik. The word comes from the Inuktitut language, and it actually means gathering place or meeting place. So that kind of gives you an idea already of what this program intentions are, which is to bring together a group of young people to share in this experience and learn from each other. On the screen, you can see our mission, our vision. It is definitely an organization that's to help create an inclusive, diverse kind of atmosphere. And again, really bring a lot of diverse young people together to share in this experience. I'll move on to what the program is. So the National Experience is a 5.5 month program. So it is definitely an option if you're taking a gap year or a gap semester. It is very full on. So it's not something, it's not a volunteer experience that you'd be doing at the same time as your studies, but really as a standalone program. It's open to people who are 17 to 25 years old. So we do have a lot of people who are doing that gap year kind of option, or people who've recently graduated from university and are kind of looking for their next step, looking for some options. So we have a lot of people coming through the program for sure at different points in their kind of their adult lives. Um, it's also open to people who are Canadian citizens, permanent residents, or landed refugees. So unfortunately, it's not available for international students, but as long as you fit into one of those other citizenship categories that I just mentioned, you're eligible for this program. So during those 5.5 months, our participants will go to 2 different communities somewhere within Canada. So it is a chance to travel. You'd be out of PEI, you'd be seeing different parts of the country for sure. And you live in a group of up to 11 participants together. So each of our houses has 11 participants. And again, these are young people around your age who are all coming from different parts of the country, different backgrounds, different cultures, and sharing in this experience together. So you are meeting a lot of people who perhaps you wouldn't get the chance to meet otherwise, and kind of getting to see all these different viewpoints and coming together to share your backgrounds, which is really interesting. There's also a project leader who lives in the house with the group. So the project leader is a staff member. There's someone who's there as a resource, a guide through the program. So you're not just there alone as participants in this new community. You have someone in the house with you who knows the community, knows the program, and is there to kind of help you through your time in the program. So what's included? What is the program? What takes part of the program? So a great part of the national experience is that it is a fully funded program. That means we pay for all of the transportation costs, the accommodation, the housing, electricity bills, Wi-Fi, plus all the things in the house as well. So, all the bed sheets, the pillows, everything is there. So basically, during these 5.5 months, it is a volunteering program. So you won't be necessarily making money, but you don't have to spend any money whatsoever for that time period. So you can see also on the screen there that includes group activities and excursions. So basically, you'll get a budget for activities/excursions, and you'll be able to use that as a group to decide on the different things that you're doing. And you also get $25 a week. So $100 a month, which is I know not a ton of money in this day and age, but it's a nice little amount to, go out for a coffee, get a snack. Some people will save it till the end of the month and pay their phone bills with that. So you do have that stipend as well that you're getting every month. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about what to expect in the program. So a big part of the program is the volunteering aspect. So our participants in the two communities that they're visiting will have a volunteer placement with a local organization there. So that could be a lot of different things. It could be a volunteer placement with a donation center, a community garden, an animal shelter, perhaps an old folks home. So quite a range of different options. And basically what will happen is once you get to the first community and then again in the second community, you'll see the different partnerships that we have. You'll get to do a little bit of a tour. And based on the options that we have, you'll say, okay, these are my top 3 options, and then your volunteer placement will be with one of those. So you do get to have a say in where your placement is, and you do get to choose something that's, maybe either maybe an option that helps you develop skills that you're looking to develop, or maybe something that you are kind of interested in as perhaps a career choice. But yeah, so you do about 32 hours of volunteering with that placement a week. So it's quite full on. It is, almost a full-time job. And it is really a chance to learn a lot of different skills, especially if you're interested in a nonprofit sector and those kinds of organizations. And of course, also it's something that you can put on your resume afterwards. So definitely, like we said, it's a volunteer placement, but you're learning a lot of employability skills through this as well. Besides the volunteering, there is also your weekly activities that you're doing as a group. So as a group, you plan out your weekly schedule and you have to place different activities into your weekly schedule that are helping you, again, to learn a lot of different, I'll say life skills, but that could be anything from learning how to budget. You're going to have to budget for groceries. You're going to have to learn to cook. You might be living with a lot of roommates for the first time, so communicating effectively. And there is also a truth and reconciliation learning platform that's been developed for this program that you'll go through on a weekly basis as a group. So, some of the categories of, we call them competencies, that you're going to learn about during the program, and these are the categories that you base your activities on, are civic engagement, employability, self-determination, and truth and reconciliation. So that seems kind of vague right now. It's laid out a lot more structured throughout the program. So there's these 4 categories and there's bullet points of, specific competencies we want you to base your activities on throughout your time in the program. For example, there's one that's called collaboration. So in the past, groups have said, okay, how can we learn how to collaborate well together? What's an activity we can do? And they've decided to go to an escape room together. So all that to say is that this is a very hands-on type of program. The activities that you plan, they are to help you learn skills, but they can be very fun, however the group wants to learn about things. If that's to go to a workshop, if that's to go to see a documentary about a certain topic, anything can be planned. It's really up to the participants to make these decisions and decide on their activities. So here's a little picture of a weekly schedule, what that looks like. So you'll see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you have your volunteer placement in the morning and afternoon. Friday is usually when the groups will learn through their Truth and Reconciliation learning platform. And then those other blocks of time are really very changeable. That's where the group is going to decide on different types of activities to learn about these different competencies. So you can see some examples in there, but those are going to change every week for the actual groups going through the program. There's also things like free or self-care time blocks that you have to put into your schedule to make sure you are taking a break and, taking a nap, reading a book, whatever self-care means to you. Um, and the only time that this will look a little bit different is every week there are one or two participants who are the house managers for that week. So when you're the house manager, you'll stay home from your volunteer placement and you'll take care of all the house duties for that week. So that means cooking the meals, budgeting for the groceries, doing any bigger cleaning tasks. So that will look a little different. Uh, Next, I've got a little map here. So these are some of the locations that we currently have. You can see from the Maritimes all the way to the West Coast to Vancouver Island, we've got houses a little bit everywhere. And basically during the program, the groups will go to two of those locations. So, you could end up in Quebec City and then in Calgary, for example. Being from PEI, it's more unlikely that you'd end up, in Halifax, let's say. But we try and, as much as possible, give our participants a geographical experience as well. So seeing different parts of the country. And then this is just a little bit of information on how to apply. So our application process is very simple. It's all done online through our website. So you would fill out our application form, takes about 30 minutes or so. After that, we would have a screening call with you to go over the program, make sure that it's a good fit for you and you're a good fit for us. And then you'd receive an email with the official decision, whether you've been accepted or waitlisted, along with any onboarding documents that you need to complete. So that brings me to the end. As you can see on the screen, there's some of our contact information here. So we've got a recruitment@katimavik.org general mailbox, which you can send us any questions to if you want to know a little bit more about the program, or if you have any follow-up questions, of course. And you can visit our website as well. I will mention the national experience applications are not open at the moment. They will be open within the next few months, but we have a bit of information up on our website at the moment. As we are changing our funding agreement from the government, our applications are on hold, but do stay tuned. They will be open shortly for you to apply to our next available cohort. Is there any questions that I can answer for anyone right now?
Wonderful. Thank you, Marisa. We do have a question on the chat. Um, are there any language requirements, like being bilingual?
No language requirements. So a part of the program is having a learning language block during your week as well. So people who are primarily Anglophone will get a chance to learn more French, and vice versa as well. Francophones will get a chance to learn more English. Plus, the groups are made up of Anglophones and Francophones, so living together is a great way to kind of develop your second official language. And we do also have participants who are, let's say they've just immigrated to Canada and they have their permanent residency, and perhaps they have their maternal language is something else. Then they get a chance to learn some more English and French as well, and also share their language with the group. So no language requirements. It's really a program that lets you kind of come as you are and share, your background, and also learn more about different languages.
Fantastic. Thank you, Marisa. We do have another question from Jonathan. Jonathan says, hi, I remember that you were in the October Employer Showcase. Is this opportunity different from the normal program you offered? Referring to that job position that you spoke about in October. And additionally, how strict is the application process and how long does the program last?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so that's a great question. So Katimavik does have two different programs. The program that I spoke about today, the National Experience, this is our volunteering program. So this is actually the flagship program of Katimavik. This is the one that's been running in some way or another since the late 70s. The program that I spoke about in October is called Future Perfect. So that's our second program, which looks specifically at developing employability skills for our participants. And that one is a program that places participants with an employment partner. So you have an employment placement during your time in the program, and you get paid for that one. So there are two different programs. The volunteering program, the National Experience, is really a place to kind of discover a lot of different things. You're doing so many different activities, you're learning so many different skills, whereas Future Perfect is specifically looking at employability skills. So both programs are on our website. You can take a look at both of them and see which one fits better with what you're looking for. The national experience, the one that I spoke about today, is 5.5 months, and Future Perfect, the employability program, is 3 months. So that's the difference there as well in the timing. Um, and was there another? I think there was another part to that question.
I think the other part was how strict is the application process?
Oh, yes. So the application process for either of our programs is the same. You send us in an online application, or you fill out our online application form on our website. We'll receive the application, and we'll schedule a follow-up screening call with you. So the National Experience Program has quite a few spaces in it. There's 11 spots per house, and as you could see on that map, there was 10 houses last cohort, so that's over 100 spots per cohort. So it is a program that's available to a lot of young people. So for sure, I'd say if you are interested in this type of experience, a longer term program with traveling, living with other people, volunteering, then definitely go for it. There's a number of spots, and I'd say now is a great time to apply as soon as the applications are open. Um, yeah,
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Marisa, for the presentation and for answering the questions. I think we have run out of time for questions for Katimavik, but I have shared Marisa's email through the chat, and I also sent a screenshot of this contact us slide. So if you have any further question, make sure to contact Marisa and Katimavik. Thank you very much, Marisa.
thank you so much.